All right, we're trying it. Okay, it says it's live. It says it's broadcast.
Yay.
It's now live streaming on Facebook. It says
Live
it
stream.
online.
Is it? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Oh, it says
Is
those
Cardi's
words
still
right
there?
now.
I haven't gone back to our screen yet. I really hope Cardi's still with us. Oh no, she's gone. Okay. Crystal's here. Bing, 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 bing.
Yay.
Crystal, yeah. Let's see. Now it's like not on this. I want to make sure I'm still streaming. Is it still streaming?
It says it on mine that it's still streaming.
Yeah, it's definitely streaming.
Oh, hell yeah. All right.
I
So
can
that
even
was
go to
the
a
most
little
awkward intro.
Facebook
Krista,
action.
how you doing, baby?
Do some straight monitoring.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. Wait. Let me say again.
I said I was looking for less clunky headphones, so
I
it doesn't
feel
look
you.
like I'm calling from a call center, but
Girl,
I don't know
have
where
those
they are.
as well here, and I'm about to. Okay, so cool. It is totally streaming. We're fucking nailing it already. This is already going better than last time. I'm so excited.
I'm so proud of you.
So I'm so proud of you, Emmy. So hello everyone, welcome. This is All Across the Map. There's no intro music because I don't know how to do that yet. So yeah.
All across the map.
And then the little like SNL. Okay, so we're here, we're ready.
Ara Claiborne.
Thank you so much, everybody. Welcome to Webisode 2. This is what we fucking do now because we can't go outside anymore for the most part. So we're all reporting to you from our respective houses or wherever the hell. If you thought this was going to be a clean show, you should turn it off now because it's not. It's me. And these are my friends. And some of them are cleaner than others, but we're all a little bit dirty. So let me give everybody a little intro, and then we're just going to jump right the fuck in. So Baker over here. Baker, say hey to everybody.
Hello,
Baker
everybody.
Campbell. Yes. He's in Augusta, Georgia now, and he's from there?
Sure.
Sure. Whatever from means. And he's a pretty super cool comic dude who's also working in, I guess, recovery and kind of addiction support, and is just doing really cool things throughout the quarantine. Over here we have Hillary Heath. She's my Blazer gal. We also have Matching Bloody Mary, so those are some fun facts. She's an Atlanta-based comic who is just an overall bad bitch. You're also, can you say what your job is right now?
Yeah. I work for a tree service. So we've been doing tree work around Atlanta. I am in the office, not wielding the saws.
Okay, I was envisioning saw wielding, which was hot. But also office work is hot. Also mentioning essential. Both of them are essential. Yeah. Baker's like, why are you already flirting with everyone? That's the fun part. They're both essential right now. I know that Emily, you are essential, quote unquote. I don't know. You're still working, but you're working from home.
Yeah.
And Crystal, I haven't even had a chance to ask you what you've been doing, but I'm like creeping on your Instagram all the time, and you've rescued a dog. Okay,
I did.
Okay, so I'm coming back to you, Emily, but Crystal, so what's up with this dog?
Okay, so quick story. All the animal shelters were closing due to COVID. So they had to cut their staff dramatically. And since the dogs only get out maybe once a day, maybe once every 23 hours, that was going to go down. So they were in desperate need of fosters. So I did my virtual interview, and I thought, I love animals. I've always been more of a dog person than a people person. And I figured since I didn't know when we were going to come out, I was just like, well, this would be the perfect time to foster a puppy.
Absolutely.
And then I got to the shelter and I saw said puppy and I said, whoa, that bitch has way too much energy for me. I mean, she was bouncing, she was spinning around, and I felt like a dick. And I was just like, is she always this excited? And the lady was just like, well, they only get out like once every 23 hours. So yeah, they're just happy to be outside. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. This is just a lot for me. And I was like, do you have someone just a little bit older? Because the puppy was 1. And I just didn't think I was ready for that. Just thinking of the peeing and the chewing and everything. And I was like, do you have someone older? And then she brought out Hector. And Hector is 9. He was with a family for 6 years, and they moved to New York, and they decided a dog would be too much of a chore to have while moving and too much responsibility. So they dropped him back off at the shelter that they adopted him from. So after 2 days, I was just like, okay, this dog's for me, and he's great. He is kind of anxious. He follows me around all the time, and he cries in his sleep. But other than that, I think he's just dreaming of his old family, and I feel
Oh.
really bad for him.
Oh, that's
But you know, he's getting more comfortable with me every single day, and he is really just the best dog. So they really lost out on a good dog, and I gained a great one.
Oh, you made something awesome out of such an awful situation, and that's
Fuck
just,
those losers.
yeah. Fuck those
Yeah,
losers.
that's what I say every time I look at him. He's just like, because he's so happy throughout the day, and then at night he does this little whimpering thing, and I have to like pat him, and then he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm fine. You're not gonna leave me." But
Yes,
he's walking into the room right now.
you do that too. Well, Hector, isn't his name Hector?
His name is Hector. I was gonna change it to Hagrid, but that's just gonna be his middle name. So you know,
He'll hear that when you get pissed off at him or something.
like Hector Hagrid. How dare you?
How dare you? I love it. Thank you. That's so sweet. And then Emily, tell us a little bit. You're just, I guess I would describe you to people who don't know you as just like a real bad bitch, sex positive PhD student. But I don't know what
Ooh.
you go for.
Human sexuality, actually.
Oh, that's-
So yeah, so I am currently in school for my PhD in human sexuality because the world needs all the sex ed info. I'm a former teacher, so right now I work for like a more central office to provide health education resources to teachers across New York City. So it's been a little stressful, but it's also like good work and a great time for health ed because now everybody knows they need it.
Yeah,
Thanks, pandemic. But aside from that, like, yeah, I mostly spend my whole day, every day, all day thinking about sex ed and how it's awful and how we need to change it.
we need more of you. That's essential.
I
think it's
agree.
essential. So
I agree.
that's that. Wow. Well, okay. So I also don't know if I mentioned that Crystal is from Atlanta or is based in Atlanta. I actually don't know if you identify as being from Atlanta or. Let me unmute you. Hold
Sorry,
on.
muted myself. Yeah, I'm from Decatur actually, so that's right outside of Atlanta. Zone 6. What's up?
ITP though.
Yeah, it. Most people know when people are like Decatur, where's Decatur? And I'm like, have you ever heard of Gucci Man or 21 Savage? Well, that's their neck of the woods. That's where they're from. So that's my hood. So I rep it proudly.
Okay,
Hold on,
so I
Gucci
should
Mane is
probably.
unincorporated DeKalb, and I will claim that till the day I die.
Unincorporated DeKalb. I don't even know what that
Crest.
means.
Boulder Crest for life.
That's Decatur, darling. That's
No,
Decatur,
that's
Georgia.
unincorporated DeKalb.
No. And who? Aren't you in Augusta?
Yeah, but I lived in Atlanta for 7 years. I lived on Boulder Crest.
Let's see. I live
street.
really close to Candler Road, and I'm actually 32, born and raised in Decatur. I think I would know unincorporated
You can have it.
DeKalb,
You can
and
have it.
as long as I've
have
heard, Gucci Man's been screaming Decatur, so you know, Boulder Crest Zone 6. But you know, it's whatever.
Damn. Well, I feel to be fair in all of this, I should ask Hillary what part of Atlanta you're from, because apparently I'm very.
I'm from the Brookhaven Chambly area of Atlanta.
Is anyone going to argue about that?
Brookhaven doesn't exist.
What?
You know, it was Chambly when I was a kid, and then they voted to become a city, and now they're Brookhaven. And so that's where I was from, and it's technically
Really nice.
Atlanta. Yeah, it is very nice now. Like when I grew up, it was a little more, you know, it wasn't quite as fancy as it is now, but it's still it's rather suburban. But it was a good spot. And then I went
I
to
always get confused with Brookhaven because Brookhaven like kisses Buckhead, but not really. It's right there.
Yes, it's like Buckhead's little sister that just like looks up to her so much, you know. It's like, oh, I love you, big sis. Like,
It's like if a suburb took a shit on Buckhead.
Buckhead's the worst. I live in Buckhead though.
I can't. I hate Buckhead, so that I will like not argue with this young man on that. Buckhead is like, but I feel like if you're from East Atlanta, you have an aversion to Buckhead.
Yes.
And so you can always tell when
Call
the
me out.
Buckhead Betties come down to visit East Atlanta. It's like, what are you doing here? Go back. Go back to the
I
saloon.
blame Argosy.
Yeah.
Word. All right, well, that's a live little thing. So I guess across the map, just to contextualize us, we're mostly Southern tonight, but we have a very strong Northern presence. And the
Isn't that like kind of our thing? Like we
Yes.
just like, isn't that a thing people hate about us? It's fine.
I mean, I missed that shit. You've been, so before we went live, you said how long you had been in quarantine. How long have you been in quarantine, Emily?
Since
Or
March 13th. Well, self-isolation since March 13th. So that was like a week later than a lot of people, but like a few days earlier than the school system. So I kind of got inside right at the nick of time. So
Okay.
It's like way earlier than any of us did.
Yeah.
No.
I know. Yeah. I mean, but you guys are like out sooner than us, like in a 10 or 20 minutes, right?
No,
So,
we're safe now.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We're,
You've cured it.
Yeah, the
Cured
governor
the thing.
said a prayer and now we're good.
that's exactly
The
right.
cure is
I
Jesus
have been
and
sending
bowling.
thoughts and prayers. It must be working. Yes.
Mm-mm.
No, they have.
I call malarkey on all of that. I'm staying indoors.
Yes, girl.
Well, there's a movement in Augusta. I don't know if it's everywhere. I don't know if it's across the South or if it's just special to us. But they have these crosses that they put out on the front yard,
Oh
and they
my
wrap them
good
in
fucking
Christmas
God.
I'm
and they
sorry,
say
what?
something with them. Baker, do you know what they say? I can't remember what they say. Maybe somebody will comment it. You put something with it, like, and then you post a picture of it, and that's how you keep safe. So you don't have to do the Lysol thing, but what you do have to do.
Is it lamb's blood? I hear that works.
Oh, like
menstrual
Jesus
blood.
times.
That's what I
Oh,
Just slap some blood on there.
oh.
And maybe-
Comment-wise, just wanted to bring us back to the tension. Decatur, where it's greater, or a little dick hater shit were two things that got brought up in the comments. Just wanted to.
Little Dick Holmes? Who is it?
I'm not sure. Small penis hating.
Okay.
Oh,
don't do
okay.
that here.
We don't hate on them
Mm.
over here. I actually I don't hate on them. I don't want to be with them, but I don't want to be with the large ones either.
Fair.
I would rather be with the very, very, very average.
Average.
Just
Mm.
C grade, your run of the mill clearance meat pen. That's what I
And-
want. I want that stuff
and
that's like 2 days.
This is what drives my research. Yes, thank you.
You know, I like a nice little just, whatever average is. I don't want you to over exceed that. I don't need A+ in the room. I also don't need an F. So just give me a nice C or D. I will take a D. I will
Amen.
take it. You can still pass with a D. You can get moved on to the next grade with a D.
Yeah.
Last time I
Hashtag
checked.
get that
You're
D.
amazing.
There we are.
Get
Yeah.
that D. That's your
Get that
hashtag.
D.
That's my hashtag.
It really is though. All her shit. I'll tell everybody social media handles later. But oh, Meredith's not hating on the dick, by the way. She just wanted everyone to know. Baker, do you want to tell
What?
everybody your dick joke?
Which dick joke?
Oh my gosh. Micro.
Okay, I was gonna say which size of dick joke. I have several dick jokes, and my
You
dick
do.
is a different
taking
size in
notes
each
again.
one.
Yep.
All right, I'll just do the really short version. I don't have a micro penis. I have a macro clit.
Mm.
I can
Oh,
relate.
snaps in the air. I can't. I'm not a good snapper, but snap
Very
for it.
Thank you.
Crystal, your
How's
nails
it?
still look beautiful. I'm so jealous.
I was just gonna bring up, Crystal, have you gotten the nails done? What's up? What's your status?
Oh no, honey, I'm just trying to pop these suckers off one at a time. So right now I'm working with 7 nails.
Nice.
Gotcha.
3 have been removed.
Excellent.
But as much as I loved, because I told them, I said, hey, my goatee is coming in quite nicely. Like I'm a hairy girl. And what I do have a grievance. I have a grievance. And
Bring
let
it
me
up, girl.
on it really quick. I ordered flamingo wax strips thinking that they would work because they were advertised as such. And so I took them apart and I tried to wax because I get really bad hair. I have a lot of hair, as you can see, but it's everywhere, especially right here in this area, my little goblet region. So I rubbed it so hard and I was like, I'm not afraid of pain. I'm gonna yank it off. I couldn't even yank it. It was a gentle removal, and one of my hairs came out, and I just need for them to make a flamingo for Black women because I have coarse beard hair coming in, and I'm not comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? When you start going like this, it's just like
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yes. But yeah, my nails are coming off. I'm not in a rush to get them done. If I don't get them done until 2022, I don't care.
Ugh, I want mine done again so badly. I got very lucky, and like the day before Kemp shut everything down, I managed to get into a nail salon and have them take off my SNS. And I was like, okay, then at least if something happens. And the next day he was like closed.
What's SNS?
It's the like dip polish, the like acrylic top. It makes them like really hard and ruins them. And that's
Super nail stuff.
Shit now.
Yeah. I've got these. I've got the claws. So these are still kind of hanging in there, but I'm trying to slowly peel them off.
7 of them, you say?
I've got 7 left. No,
it
they're
prime.
getting to the point they're lifting, so I can just easily kind of just snap them. But yeah.
Have you tried tying strings to them and then tying it to a doorknob and slamming the door?
No, I have not, Baker. I have not. That seems like an appealing idea, but I'm going to let the Lord do what he does. And I've gotten 3 off thus far, and he's going to get the other 7.
That sounds right.
Write that on one of the crosses. There you go.
That's a good idea.
Take my nails. They're going to think it's the other kind of nails, though.
Right. Yikes.
Oh my God.
So is that happening in Atlanta, or is that just
Close
like
enough, right?
AUD thing?
I don't know what opened today. I didn't make any.
She's talking about the yard
Oh,
crosses.
I didn't look.
yard crosses. Oh
The
no.
old classic yard cross. Jesus
No, I've seen a
fucking
lot
Christ.
of like, what are the
I
like,
honestly don't know what I'm talking about, so never heard of these.
we don't have yard crosses. None that
That's
I've
good. That's good that you don't have them. You don't want to have them.
Right.
Wild. But that's okay. It's if it makes people feel better, then I think that's good, I guess, right? That's an okay thing.
What's an okay thing?
Bloody Marys. I mean, the yard crosses, if that's their...
I guess.
I don't think there should be any connection between that and the...
Some things are just tainted by history, though. Like, you can't name your kid Hitler. You can't, like, it doesn't work. That name is off limits.
Crystal, you're muting yourself.
You're muted again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
I
don't.
hear you.
My air conditioning is really loud, and I don't want it to be this white noise in the background. I'm trying to save you guys.
I'm experiencing no issue with your
I
air
think you're
conditioning.
okay because it's all coming through your microphone.
Oh, okay. Help me. I'm elderly.
Customer service rep. You're elderly and care for an elder dog.
Elderly.
Stop muting yourself.
Deathly Hallows on. You can't be elderly and be a fan of Harry Potter.
Okay, there's a lot of old people that are into the Harry Potters. Okay.
Elderly. This is the last thing I used to describe you.
Tell
So,
my
like-
back and my knees that I'm not elderly. I'd love for you to tell them that.
There.
Okay, fine. I'm not familiar with your back or your knees, but
Oh,
Not
your
yet.
face does not scream elderly.
no, it does not. So what has it been like for my performers? You guys like probably had a bunch of shit, planned to do or whatever.
I want to cry just thinking about it.
No.
I was so upset because like literally a month before this happened, I had just got back from New Orleans and I did pretty good. So I was going back in March to do more shows. And then in April, I was supposed to be in LA for like 4 days. And I was super pumped about that. Then I was also supposed to be in Virginia Beach today. And I got into my first festival this year. So I was booking trips. I was like, okay, New Orleans first, and then we're going to go to LA. Then we're going to go to Virginia Beach. And then we're going to go to Chicago. Then we're going to chill in June. Then in July, we're going back to New Orleans. And then in August, we're going to New York. And like, I was just pumped. And we were churning them out like butter.
Like
And
butter.
then everything just came to a screeching halt. And, it sucks, but I'm grateful that I still have a job that I could work from home. It's sad, A lot of the things that I wanted to do were canceled. A lot of the festivals I wanted to go to were canceled. But yeah, I'm a music festival person, guys, out there. I love comedy, but I also live for a good concert and a good music festival. I VIP for the music festival. I don't like to be with the goons and the goblins. I don't like to be with the children, 18 and up. That is not my crowd. Y'all are crazy. Y'all don't know how to act. You don't know how to drink water and hydrate. Be passing out in the sun. It's very stressful to a young thug like me. So I just can't be with y'all. But a lot of those things are canceled.
Oh, I see you, Ira.
I'm hoping for a 2021 recovery.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And I've just been the first couple of weeks, you know, everybody was posting these memes like, if you don't have 1,500 scripts written, you didn't get no work done. And I'm like, well, first of all, I need to process what's happening to me. I need to take this in. I need to process it. I need to meditate. I need to journal. I need to,
Yes.
The internet needs to fuck off.
Over and over again. You can definitely do that.
So, you know, I've been slowly writing more, and I've been focusing on a YouTube series that I tried to do, I think like 3 years ago. And I just picked it back up, and the characters are still relevant to this day. So I've just been adding to it, and I've been writing more. So, but I was in a funk for a second, and I was like, okay, we've processed it. We know what we can do to protect ourselves and our family. And I got a new doggy to help me out. So I get out, I go on my walks, but I haven't been into a store in about a month, like 4 weeks. I haven't been into an actual store.
Question.
So,
are you staying with your family?
no. So I stayed with them for about a week. And while I was there for that week, I played the news for them, like the real news. I was like, okay, mom and dad, it's time to watch real news, not YouTube, not these hoteps. I don't want you watching no nonsense. We're gonna watch the news. And then I ordered them a bunch of masks, and I was just like, hey, because my parents are retired, so their trips to the gym and Walmart and Home Depot and their little planter meetings and stuff, like that's what they do on a regular basis. So to be trapped in a house, it's very frustrating for them. And honestly, they were going to Walmart like every day because that's all they had to do. And I'm like, no. If you want to get out the house, go for a walk. Go for a walk at 8 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's out there. They're still sleeping in the bed. So go for a walk. Start your garden back up in your backyard. You could come up here and you can hang out with me and my dog, but you are not going to be going to Walmart every day. Most certainly won't be.
No.
So yeah, but now I'm back in Sandy Springs, quarantining in my home.
Got you. And okay, Hillary, you look fire, which we already mentioned that earlier, but the commenters wanted you to know that, and that's goddamn truth. A plus, phenom, just so everyone.
I haven't had a reason to like put on a bra or makeup in days. So, or not days, like weeks, like a month. And so I did it today.
Same.
It felt like too much when I applied my makeup to my face.
No.
Like, oh my.
No. Oh, it reads beautifully. Absolutely. So, okay, y'all who have to keep going out into the world, like our bottom two kind of, okay, also this is something that was suggested to me. We have 9 viewers right now. Yay. Thanks, guys. These are all people who are creatives, artists, just kind of passionate about what they do. We're just celebrating them. People from Atlanta, people from Augusta. We just talked a lot about some quarantine shit, but we're going to keep talking about it a little bit. Y'all, before we got on here, started talking about your obsessive ways that you sanitize things. Does anybody want to volunteer some strange thing that they've kind of...
I'm going to volunteer Baker to start us off.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I work in a building where I don't want to talk shit about anybody. I don't want to throw any shade, but I'm the only one that is afraid of the coronavirus. Everyone else is so brazen. And so I carry this isopropyl alcohol with me everywhere. I usually use it for cleaning electronics, like motherboards and stuff, because you can't use anything else. And but it's come in really handy. I wipe my keys down with it all the time, and my douchey ass fucking tape deck looking vape, and a bubbly. I wiped those down when I got home from Circle K. Circle K is not doing curbside service, by the way, and it bothers me because I don't like going in Circle K already. So the added coronavirus is too much. Okay, Circle K. Hot take. Get your shit together, Circle K.
They're also not regulating, are they? Like, how many people go in there? Or
I don't know. I mean, like, they got like 1 square foot. So, like, really, it's 0 people can go in there. Like, the clerk is too many people for the space. He's going to infect himself with coronavirus because it's such a small space.
Very true.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think that I go like ebbs and flows to my neurotic cleaning behaviors, because like I'll get a little bit lax with it, and not like I'm going around like licking poles and people and stuff, but like I'll just forget for like 8 hours, and then I'll be like, holy shit, I only washed my hands twice today. What do I do? And I'm like freaking out, so I go and wash my hands and I sanitize everything, and then everything's really dry, and that's just the world I'm living in right now.
Mhm.
I'm in the same boat. Since I have to go out places, I have a box of little thing of Clorox wipes in my car.
Where did you get those?
I got them before it all started.
Lucky.
I got very lucky.
My people.
Before it all started, I also got toilet paper. I just finished my first pack of toilet paper. Like, I have been set since the beginning. I like got all the canned beans. Like, you wonder where they
Yes, high anxiety. Very good.
Yeah.
Remind me to talk
like a
about
life
my
hack.
anal cleaning behaviors.
Anal
on, okay?
cleaning. Got
Yes,
it.
please. More people need to hear about this.
Mm.
Yes.
Toilet
yeah.
paper ain't the answer, baby. Toilet paper ain't the answer.
Bidets are the way.
Oh, in the future.
Hillary, go though.
Oh, just that I've been keeping them under the back seat in my car because I am very worried about my car getting broken into for the coveted Clorox wipes. But since I've been driving everywhere and like I have to make a couple of stops like throughout the day, you know, I have a Clorox wipe that do my phone keys, my phone mount, like steering wheel. I've got gloves that I put on. It's a nightmare every time. Just a nightmare.
I've also seen your angelic ass volunteering to go out into the world and gather things for people who I've seen that a few times. Can you just talk about that? I think that is so wonderful.
That is.
Yeah, I've volunteered to go out and get stuff for people while I'm out and about because I have to go out every day. So I'm just like, I'm already out here. I'll go get your stuff. Really, only a few people have taken me up on it, and it's mostly to go to the liquor store, which I think is so funny because I go to the cheap liquor store and then end up buying like 4 handles of vodka, and they're like, this poor girl, she's got a problem. Because I'm in there like every other week buying like 4 handles of vodka and wine. And
I wonder when someone's going to be like, hey,
here's a pamphlet. Here's a place you can call.
outside, we really
Exactly.
appreciate your business, but are you okay?
They don't make me pull my mask down anymore. Like they're just like, I know her eyes, the desperation. You know, she's a sad one.
Oh my gosh.
So yes, but yes, I've offered to go out and get stuff for people. I've made a couple of deliveries of stuff, and I like it because every time I go and drop something off at a friend's house, then I get to have like a beer in their driveway with them and see.
That's so sweet.
I miss hugs.
I know.
I need a hug so fucking bad.
Bruh.
A deep embrace is what we all need.
Yes, like way too long. I think so. Baker, Marcus can't, but he was saying Willard might be able to. So I'm gonna try and pull Willard in just because he avails. I really admire you, Hill. I think that's so kind, and so you don't have to do that, but you are, and you're putting yourself at more risk, even for something that some people would question if it's essential, but like, you know, it's also like if it's getting them through it.
Yeah.
You don't just look fire emoji. You are fire.
You are
emoji.
fire.
Thank you. And it's like I'm going to the liquor store anyway, you know, like I'll go for all of us, you know, and I'll make my rounds, drop off my bottles on my porches.
So sweet.
Some sort of like weird fucked up Santa Claus.
That would be like my favorite kind of Santa Claus.
I know, right?
My way.
Drop me off.
Bus back in. I dropped my kratom in here.
Willard, did you want to talk a little? I mean, I just called you Willard. Baker, do you want to talk about anal cleaning? I know I'm typing to Willard right now.
Yeah, I could talk about anal cleaning practices.
Is that something you're well versed in? Is that
Look, okay. I went on a bit of a journey over the past few years. Chapter 1. Living in Atlanta. Drunk all the time. And so most of my decisions were pretty impulsive. And when they rolled out, I don't know if y'all remember this, when they rolled out Amazon Prime Now, the magical service where you can click on an item and see it 45 minutes later. And I was like, I got to push the limits of this shit. So I'm scrolling around. I'm like, what can I get? And I saw a fucking bidet on there. And I was like, I'm getting a bidet right now in 45 minutes. Lo and behold, 45 minutes later, I'm holding this shitty plastic bidet. And it had like tubes coming off, and I was like, fuck this. And I threw it in my closet. Scroll forward 5 years now. And I have plenty of toilet paper, first of all. I'm just one of those people who like buys in bulk anyway, just because I don't want to have to. I'll forget. So I get a shit ton when I get some. So I just had toilet paper. But I was like, you know what? In the spirit of Coronimus, I'm going to install my bidet finally. So I'm installing my bidet. Shit's going great. No leak. I tested out. Cold as fuck. But cleanest my asshole's ever been after taking a shit. I shit you not. So, chapter 3. I'm cleaning my asshole, right? Just took a normal-ish shit. I'm cleaning my asshole. And I go to... The way this cheap bidet works is it's just like a valve that opens and releases pressure, right? So I go to close it off. And like... I kind of like pucker my asshole a little bit when I'm using the bidet to try to get it pretty clean, you know? And so I go to turn it off and I accidentally turned it the wrong way. And I turned it all the way on. That shit filled me right the fuck up.
And emptied you right the fuck out. That's
it was
beautiful.
amazing. And
That's
now I do
beautiful.
that. I do that as often as I remember to. I'm like,
Beautiful.
fuck it. I'm fucking enema-ing myself today. Let's do this shit.
I was just gonna say you gave yourself a whole ass colonic. That's not
absolutely.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna get a bidet just for that. I go to get colon hydrotherapy at least once a quarter, and that would be free. So
put some coffee in the filter in the back there, and you can do coffee.
I don't know if you have to get like a shitty like plastic bidet though. Like I don't know if regular bidets will do this for you. Like I think this was a malfunction.
I would hope, but maybe not.
Of my bidet.
So we'll post his bidet in the comments in case anybody is looking to get this particular bidet, because I know you're all now seeking it.
I would very much like a bidet.
I only have one bidet experience, and it's like a vague memory from when I was a kid that like my parents, like we had stayed at some fancy hotel like for like a family function or something, and they had the like European style bidets where it's like a separate entity next to the toilet.
Yes.
My sister and I were like exploring the hotel room, and we find the bidet and exclaimed to my mom, the bathroom has its own water fountain. Look at how cool this is. And my mom walks in to me and my sister drinking the water from the bidet fountain.
No.
I fucking live for that shit.
It was like I was too young to like really be upset by that. I was just like, what? You use it to clean your butt? Well, that's weird. Okay. It was like gross to me, but like thinking back on it now as an adult, I'm like, oh my God, I like essentially just drank toilet water.
Booty hole toilet water. Oh.
My parents were like, brush your teeth. We got to go see grandma. Like,
don't kiss her.
I mean, toilet water is just tap water.
This was pre-corona. They were just fine with just brush your teeth, go kiss your grandma.
Wow. Cold-blooded. I hope your grandma. I hope. Wait, is your grandmother still here?
One of them is.
Okay. Well, I hope she doesn't see this.
She honestly, she wants to see one of my comedy shows so bad, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Let her.
Probably tuned in and she's like, what is this fucking kid talking about? Shit up his asshole. Got right immediately off.
For those who just tuned in,
you missed my fucking enema story, nerd.
Hope you can rewind. I think that's the setting I added.
Sure, whatever.
Oh my God, that's so
wild. So what, Emily, is it weird have you had to go out for anything? Like, have you been out of your apartment?
So I live with my partner, and so he has been going out when we need to for like prescriptions, because our like local pharmacy is like this tiny little one, and they're amazing, but they don't deliver. So because New York City, everybody likes to walk everywhere and nobody has a car. So he has gone out twice, and we live right by a park, which is beautiful, except every fucking buddy and their 12 children are there too. And so just to get to the park, once you get to the getting to the park, you have to walk like in the middle of the street, but then there's still like people driving, and so it's just like chaos. Social distancing does not work once you get like 2 blocks away from a park. And then in the park everybody is there, so it's like, this is unsafe. Cool. So I personally have not been out since like, I want to say the 20th of March, like out of my building. Like I've been around my building, but not like outside of it.
Nuts.
And to be honest, I don't miss hugs. I don't miss people. I love everything about coronavirus in the self-isolation stuff. I think it's amazing.
Love coronavirus.
Yeah. I love the idea of coronavirus and that it will teach us to care about our health more. But as a health educator, it like means a lot to me that people are now understanding how like germs transmit and to wash their hands. And now thanks to this show, how to wash their anuses, which is a beautiful skill as well. But I just, I don't.
Always ready for butt stuff.
Oh, me too. 100%. I'm even wearing like vibrator earrings right now. I don't know. It's like my thing.
Ooh, bring closer. We want to see a little more. Zoom in. Oh,
these are the original. They're the Hitachi Magic
Hitachi one. Oh my gosh. I have a knockoff one of those.
Nice.
Yes.
It works just as
right. They're just like a beautiful tool.
It's
very
so
much
awesome.
like a bidet, but like not quite.
Yeah.
It's a bidet for your clitoris.
Exactly.
It
and
is.
some of you don't have a clitoris, and that's okay. Don't be jealous, but like you could get like a back massage with it if you need it. But yeah. So yeah, I don't mind this like stay in stuff. Like, I mean, I'm in a doctoral program, so like I have like a shit ton of like schoolwork to do at all times. And then like my life before this was like 13-hour work days, so I can't say I miss that. I mean, my hours at work are now just 8 hours, and it's all remote, so like that's fine. But I don't sleep anymore because like I don't burn any energy during the day, so that's weird too.
Oh no. Could you guys give us all like something that you've started doing for self-care, or something that you've like learned is important to you? Like Crystal, I heard you talk about writing. I don't know if you did a ton of writing before. I would imagine you did some. I don't know if it's changed or.
It's changed a lot. Before, the way my joke style of writing works is I just jot down ideas that come into my head and then I make a story out of it. So it's kind of wild. If you ever looked at one of my notes, you'd be like, this just seems like nonsense. Bunch of nonsense words just right down the middle. But now it's coming to be actual me writing out my full set. I've been listening to my old sets. And my writing has been mostly for scripts. So before it was, I've always aspired to be a writer on a show. But stand up for me is I enjoy it. I have a great time with it. It comes easy to me. I don't know how, because I never thought I would be a stand-up comic, but life happens. And I'm good at it, but my aspiration is to be a writer. So before, like she said, you go to work, you're working 8 to 5. Then after that, you're hitting up as many mics as you can. And then, trying to keep your work-life balance and, trying to be a mom, being there for my parents, being there for my friends. It left very little time for me to read scripts from the shows that I like, but also focus on the script that I'm trying to write. So this has been great for me as far as self-care is, because I've been able to eat better. I'm actually working out now because I take my dog out for at least 2 to 3 walks a day, and he loves it. He's pooped. He's like napping right now. Way more active than I was before. And now I have time to take master classes. All these classes are free. So I'm like, this is great. I've been taking classes on social media marketing and
Cool.
how to write better scripts and all this other stuff. Me and my friend, we're going half on a master class because I don't know if you know the website Masterclass. They're doing buy one get one free.
Ooh.
So you have access to all their stuff for a year. It's $180. So all you have to do is find somebody else to go in on it with you, and you can get a master class from anybody. I think Christina Aguilera is on there teaching people how to sing. I personally don't want to learn how to sing, but there are a lot of comedians on there who are like, this is what you do for stand-up. This is what works for me. This is what you do for writing. This is what works for me. And it's like, ooh, look at all these courses. And General Assembly, Ira, I think you'd be into this. They do free Fridays. So you can go onto General Assembly's website and basically your whole day can be filled with courses that usually cost $1,500. So I've been learning a lot, which is perfect for me.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Oh my God. I hope everybody heard that stuff. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Hillary, are you as blown away? Or is that just how you always look? So sun-swept and beautiful. And...
Oh, I just also like put my feet up on my little stool under my desk. So I'm like,
that's right.
Like a vibe right now.
Hell yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been doing much different for self-care really, but like I've been trying to keep up my routine, I guess. Like I have like a little tradition with some other comedy gal pals. On Mondays we get together to write at my apartment, but mostly drink wine and talk shit about people.
Cool.
And I've been missing it, so we've been trying to do Google Hangouts to like try to encourage each other to write, and like there is no gossip anymore, so like we're mostly just drinking and looking at each other. But
so fun.
It's been good. I'm trying to keep stuff up. A good friend of mine, she's started this I'm missing it right now, but it's a Friday night movie night, and it's totally fine. This is what I wanted to be doing tonight. But plus it's also on in my other screen that I'll switch back to in a minute.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Not totally missing it.
She started doing like an at-home movie night on like Cast once a week, and so we all get together, and it's like like 20 or 30 of us that get all into this little chat room.
Cool.
A movie together. And so we've done like
Sick.
We did The Hunt, and that was so fun to watch as a group because it was just such a wild movie. And then we did Little Women. Cats was the first one. That was where the idea really came from, and we watched Cats as a group, and I've been looking forward to that every week. I think you gotta find ways to like still see your people, check in with your people.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Hell yeah,
definitely.
Question before I come to you, Baker, for Hillary, about what's your joke style? We heard a little bit from Crystal, and also how she's really refined it. Like, can you tell us a little bit about what you do, or like how you?
I like most of my jokes are stories. They're based on like stuff that happens to me in real life. So I've actually really had a hard time writing during this time, and like have had a really hard time creating just because nothing has happened to me in weeks. So I've been trying to go back and look at some old stories. Like I've revisited some old bits that I used to do, and then stories that I've wanted to tell. So that's the stuff that I've been like running past people just to see how I can work it out. But it's hard, man. It's hard when nothing's happening to you and you're just in your house watching TV to write jokes about it.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Is there anything you have on your mind that you want to like run past us?
Well, I will tell you a story that I'm still workshopping. Here's a fun one for you. I recently learned that I'm not as in tune with nature as I thought. I work for a tree service. I know a lot about plant life. I like to think I know a lot about animals. I really love looking at weird birds. And the other day it was a couple months back, I was at a client's house, and she lives in this really beautiful place in Buckhead, like deep in the woods. And like there are woods in town in Buckhead. It's really weird and crazy. And she lives with like horses and has 2 horse pastures, big blueberry patch, goats. in the middle of Atlanta. It's the craziest place I've ever been. It's gorgeous. She's my hero. And she's the first time I met her, you know, you expect somebody like that to not really be as down to earth. And she's out there shoveling horse shit. And I was just like, you're seriously the coolest person I've ever met in my life. So at her house, I'm walking out of her property and this big dog like runs in front of me. And like, I love dogs. I want a dog so bad. So I go up to pet this dog and it's talking to it. It's huge. It's bigger than anything I've ever seen. And I'm like, I'm going to pick this dog up and put it in my car and take it home, you know, get it microchip checked. I'll get it back to its owner, you know, the whole thing. I'm like, I'm going to take care of it. And this dog, like, it looks at me for a while. I'm like kind of wary of it because it's so big. And finally it runs off. I'm like, okay, he knows where he's going. You know, he's okay. I get off, I take off. And then that night I'm watching the local news and it was like coyotes spotted in Buckhead neighborhood. And I was like, no. And so I go, well, what does a coyote look like? And I realized that I got
like a cat, right?
Within 2 feet of this giant, like wolf-like coyote.
Jesus Christ.
Putting my hand out for it to
Oh God.
and like I was ready to pick it up and put it in my car. And I was just like, I would have been mauled by a coyote. So that's what I'm trying to figure out how to tell on stage. Because it's still the craziest thing that I probably have done in a long time.
That is insane.
Is try to put a coyote.
They actually are kind of
Wow.
cute. They're kind of cute. Like I'm looking at coyotes right now, and I'm like, I would also try to pet that dog, but
I know, and it was
deadly.
it was so docile. It was just standing there looking.
They
at
have
me.
the pointy ears, and I'm like, look at those things. Like,
But that was like so nice of it to be like, lady, I'm gonna murder you. I'm just gonna run away because you don't know what this is.
or it was probably like, oh, she's fucking crazy.
Like,
Now let me go
poor
the other way,
darling.
'cause
You're
she
supposed to
doesn't
be
know who I am.
indoors. Let me help you out, girl.
Not as in tune with nature as I thought I was.
It's just hard.
Much.
They don't
No.
prepare you for that.
I'm happy you're still here. I'm happy you're still here.
Too. I'm really happy I didn't have to get a rabies shot that day. Like, oh God.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard that sucks.
Yeah, I've heard it's really bad, and like I would have immediately had to get it.
Mm-hmm. I had to get one time because
No.
there was a dog chained in Brooklyn in fucking Crown Heights. Like it was snowing and there was a dog chained to a fence and was just there like all day. And I like went and tried to feed it like deli meat and shit like throughout the day and just felt so awful for it. Like one time got a little too close to it and it just totally bit me in the lip like a dumb bitch. Like it was just, it was all my fault. I don't blame anyone.
Oh, I thought you were calling the dog a dumb bitch.
Well, yeah, and I guess we were both dumb bitches, but she couldn't help it. I made choices that confirmed my bitchery, but it was awful, and I had to get a rabies shot. Like the ambulance came, and because the police, I don't even remember. Like the police were there, I think, because the dog had been out there so long. And when I finally saw them, I was like, "Yo, like this dog has been here forever. Like what do we do?" And they were like, "What happened to your lip?" And I was like, "No, I'm good.
It may have just attacked me, but it's fine.
It's cool. Don't
This
take
dog
it.
needs help.
Don't.
Bleeding
no."
out of my face.
Yeah.
No big deal.
So I have a really cool scar on my lip that a lot of people tell me that makes you sexy.
Why do you have to say it like Donald Trump?
I know. Why did you have to use that voice? It was
I
fun
thought-
till then.
A lot of people. I got you.
Yeah, thank you. That means it's an okay impression. It's still really bad. Baker, do you have any insight on self-care joke style?
Self-care,
Anything
joke
that
style.
you've done new podcast?
Well, shit. Okay, so I started my new job on April 6th, and before that, I was like totally isolated, basically, and I got a lot of creative shit done. No jokes. For some reason, jokes just weren't flowing. But
play the piano and
yeah, I played the
recorded
piano a
songs.
lot, recorded a couple songs,
Very
just
cool.
lo-fi style in my living room on the piano, and dear God, I miss it. Like I need to start setting time aside like every day for that shit because I feel like shit when I don't play the piano now, and it's like I need it. I'll probably do that tonight when we get done. But I've been doing as much outdoor activity as I can away from people. So I'll play disc golf, which doesn't require any human contact, which is really nice. Another
Please
thing, like
sanitize the discs,
Do you bring the isopropyl alcohol
It
with
stays with
you?
me at all times.
Great.
Do you have it attached in a fanny pack of some sort? And also, do you
I have like a bag full, like it. I'm a nerd. Okay. When I do anything, I'm a fucking nerd. There's no way I'm gonna do anything without being a nerd. I have to. I built my own PC. I've got VR. Like I played VR games like a fucking nerd. I can't do anything halfway nerdy. It's got to be all the fucking way. So disc golf, I'm like, give me my bag. I'm gonna put my discs in the bag. I've got these ones for this kind of throwing, and like these ones for this kind of throwing. I do it all the fucking
long
way.
distance, yeah.
Absolutely. But as far as self-care goes, like it's really tough because a lot of my self-care used to involve people because I'm an extrovert. I'm a ball of manic, anxious energy, and I have to be around people. I got to get on fucking stage. I got to get embarrassed. I got to get ashamed or I don't feel good.
You can pay people to do that for you.
That's not this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let that hang. Yeah. So, but yeah, I miss comedy. I haven't written like a single joke. I guess I could do something with the anal douching, but
highly recommend.
What I've found is for my personal comedy style, it has almost nothing to do with what I'm saying. It's more like how I say it. Like my jokes are inane, childish bullshit. I've got 5 one-liners about my penis. Like it's not particularly funny material, but if you say things right, if I say things right, at least people laugh at it, and that's sort of what I've felt my style has become, is more delivery than content. But what was I talking about? I'm ADD too. Yeah, self-care. At work, we've been working on self-care a lot because, when you work with counselors who like basically deal with people at the worst points in their fucking lives, everybody gets fucking secondary traumatic stress disorder out the ass, So we're just doing things like we made a self-care room with like a little couch in there and some like coloring books and a drawing wall and stuff just for people to go in there throughout the day and just like, you can there's a little sign you can put up that says, don't come in here. Managers aren't allowed to go in there, and fuck with anybody. So that's been really good. I'm one of those like fucking low key selfish people where like doing good for others makes me feel good. So I'm really doing it for myself, So I'll send out like a little email where I'm like, drink some water. I love you. And then I'm like, oh, I feel better now. And that helps me. I mean, as far as like, I know this isn't like a recovery thing, but, that's what keeps me sober. When I feel shitty, like I just I'm at this point where it's been a few years, and like my maintenance, I don't like there's booze back there. I don't give a shit, I don't go to a drinking place anymore. I don't go to a cocaine place anymore. I go to like these weird process addictions, people and fucking like just shitty behaviors. And so that's what I have to stay ahead of. And what helps me stay ahead of that is just like checking in on people, being nice to people, connection. Like the opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection. That's hands down a scientifically proven fact. But yeah, as far as my comedy goes, man, I can't wait to get back into it. You know how I write. I just go up on stage without any material, and whatever happens to stick, I keep for later, So I'm really, really, really ready to get back into that.
Yeah, man. I know, we all are. And we also have to be fucking prepared for if this shit ends up going, we're going to have to do this, but like sets and fucking weird shit. And like, I'm going to have to learn how to use like extra technology, and we're going to have to really pull it together.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear a couple of one-liners?
Yeah, please.
Okay. You've heard these.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if I'm gay, but I don't like to suck dick because I was eating a banana the other day and I sneezed. My penis is 1 penis long. Somebody asked me to prove it, so I sent a picture of my penis with another penis. She called me gay. A lot of my jokes, okay, my penis varies in length in my jokes, but also like my sexuality varies in all my jokes, Yeah. Like personally, like I identify as like pansexual, and I don't talk about that a lot. I've never like had a coming out moment, like my family's not real close to me, so I never had to like worry about any of that and stuff. But like I like to play with that in my comedy, like I'm like In this joke, I'm gay. In this joke, I'm straight. In this joke, I have no idea. And it's really fun. Really fun to bounce that around.
I love that you do that. You guys heard it here first. If you're just tuning in, Baker is pansexual.
Blare the sirens, baby.
Meow, meow, meow. If anybody else wants to talk about their sexuality for a minute, we're also getting close to an hour, so I want to let you guys go. I know I've already taken up a lot of your time. So think about any last thoughts. Emily, we haven't really heard. I know you're not necessarily a performer, but I don't know if you just have some shit you want to get off.
I used to do a comedy show called Sex with Your Mom here in New York, where I actually teamed up with like a comedian and I was the mom, just spouting like sex ed knowledge.
I love that.
So yeah, and we were supposed to have like another one this spring, but the Rona, here she is. But no, like I think sex is funny, and I think that, you know, the whole like, can you hear me?
Yes, no, can you please keep doing it? Can you do it anyway?
Yeah, but like I, unlike you all, don't like the hustle of like getting comedy shows booked. I just show up when they are and do my mom dick jokes, call it a vulva, not a vagina thing. And people love it. I bring my vulva costume. Somebody dresses up in it. Maybe next time I'll like wear the vulva costume. We'll see. Where the face is the clitoris, because that's the most important part, in case you didn't know.
Why aren't you wearing that right fucking now, dude? What the fuck?
I literally thought about it, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, I know this is like, I know Ira, but I don't know like all of you. So I was like, would it be too much? I'm like, I'll just go with the subtle vibrator.
Is the clitoris on the left or the right? The labia is like the gooch on a guy, right?
Actually, the labia are very similar to the scrotum. Sorry you asked.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, the clitoris is very similar to the head of the penis, but like 4 times the amount of nerve endings. So highly recommend you touch it.
Circumcised or uncircumcised penis? For comparison.
Oh, the uncircumcised. Yeah.
That's
sorry.
the
hood of the clitoris is like the foreskin of the penis.
Right.
Yeah, the foreskins. I mean, the head of the penis without, still fine, but yeah. You're going to get pleasure either way.
Hey, yo, you're a health teacher. How many people are foreskinated versus not in this country? Like, what? Give me an approximation.
In this country, we have a very medicalized, like sexuality system here. So anytime that somebody can profit off of your body, they will. So we have a lot more circumcised penises in this country than religion or religious practices would indicate. Because it started off as like a very religious thing for particular religions, and everyone else was just kind of like, why do you do that weird shit to babies? And the United States is like, you know what, we can make money off of that. And so they're like, yes, let's. And so they do. No shame either way.
Is it true that you can regrow your foreskin?
Stretch it. Stretch it if it's there.
You can like body mod yourself, but you can't have a thing that was removed. Like like a little bit will grow back. Like some people have a little like thicker. So that's not foreskin. Get it checked out. No.
I'm gonna get a little knitted. I'm gonna get a little knitted foreskin. Like,
oh, that's so nice. Like a little turtleneck.
Yeah, a little turtleneck.
Oh,
there's an
cute.
episode of Friends about this.
Yes.
Baloney on his dick, doesn't he?
Baloney?
I think so.
Oh, that Nancy.
Yeah.
Oh my
Are you
God.
pretending to be the foreskin, Ira?
The poor human that thinks they ate your foreskin off.
Like, just to demonstrate.
The toxic shock syndrome of the piece of bologna being left inside.
Oh my God.
The smegma.
On that note, if you're just tuning in, we're leaving. Are there any? No, I'm just kidding. Are there any sex questions? Since we do have a sexpert here, is there any weird thing you've always?
I'm gonna add you on the book of face there, Emily.
But the clitoris is on like the bottom, right?
More of my so I'm writing a whole paper on this geographical misinformation, so I'll send it your way when I'm done.
But it's on the inside, right?
Exactly. So you have to pound it harder. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No,
okay.
absolutely not.
You want like a disc jockey sort of motion, right?
Yeah, like this. Highly recommend. Yeah, highly recommend. And rub it really fast.
Don't ever listen to any of this shit. How
No,
long?
I grew up with 3 older sisters and a mom, and I was exposed to a lot of
Vagina.
vagina stuff. So this is totally off topic, but everybody got their periods and started sticking tampons in their butts, as I assumed.
Yes.
And
a lot of
so
people
when
do
I
that.
was like 8, I was like, I guess it's my turn to stick my tampon in my butt. So I did, and that shit got drier than a fuck. And it was the most painful experience of my life pulling that out of my asshole.
Yeah, girl, you got to lube. I know. Lube is
I
so
didn't.
important. Everybody out there, lube is so important with anuses or vaginas. Like, it's just like a dry mouth. You don't want a dry mouth, so you don't want a dry vagina or anus if you're going to penetrate. Please don't.
That is a PSA. If you're just tuning in.
It will be
So what
painful.
we've learned today is there's no such thing as a clitoris. Foreskins are of the devil.
Chop them off.
That's it, right? That's all the most important stuff.
And anal
And
deuce with
stick
a
things
bidet.
up your butt at all times. Water, preferably.
Yeah.
And that the citizens of Georgia are covered in Christ's blood, thanks to God.
And thoughts and prayers are going to save us from coronavirus. Just
For
a
sure.
PSA for everyone.
High five to that.
And inject, I don't know, this just in, you can actually inject Lysol straight into your bloodstream.
Right
for
up your pee hole.
immunity. Cool. Excellent.
That's what all the cool kids are doing, guys. Get on the way.
All of them.
New York,
Yeah.
what would you say to Georgia? Georgia will tell Georgia what's up, but New York, what would you say to Georgia right now?
I'm just face palming you all right now because, like, what?
Fauci?
Like, I mean, I know we are like the center of the epidemic right now, mainly because of our like
High population, right? I mean,
yeah, high population, and also like we have people who go everywhere all the time across the world, so great. But like Georgia, you guys have the busiest airport in the whole world.
Mhm.
So there are people coming in and out of Atlanta. Like,
luckily, Atlanta's doing a little better than the rest of Georgia.
thank goodness because of the mayor lady, but like
Mhm. Mayor
honestly,
lady, that's her
like,
official title.
I don't remember her name. I'm a northerner, but I know Kemp is your governor and he's a
Keisha
mess.
Lance Bottoms.
Yeah.
Listen to your mama, ATL.
Yeah.
please
Do something. Do something besides go out. That's my
New York.
northerner recommendation.
My ATLians, what would y'all say? What's your advice to Georgia? What's your advice right now?
Listen to the Black people.
Yes.
For what?
So the mayor, the mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. As soon as Kemp said that, she was like, "Actually, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what statistics he's reading, but I advise all of you to stay inside because this is serious." And I personally have not been out since I decided to do like a self-isolation. So I said it's been like a month. It's not that deep. My friends who were still going out to other friends' house, I was like, that's not self-quarantine, sweetie. You're just going to somebody else's house with a bunch of people. That's the exact opposite. You must want to die. I encourage people to watch the news, look at the statistics. And then also if you can find the videos, because they are out there, of people just dying in the street in Korea. This has already happened in other parts of the world. They've already gone through this. They've done this already. I don't know what it is about Americans that we think we're special unicorn babies and we're not affected like the rest of us.
We're all 17 and we can't die.
Yeah, but if you want to die in the street, yeah, sure, keep going to the park, keep having house parties. You know, don't take it seriously. You know, but yeah, just follow the smart blacks. If we're inside and we ain't going out, then it's probably not safe for you to go out, honestly.
Dude, if the Juggalos are canceling their event.
Yeah. But also, like, Black and brown people can die of this. That was like a falsehood that was spreading around the city for a little while. It's
That's
like, oh,
insane.
it only affects white people. Like, it does not. It affects all people.
We wish.
And so, please
the
don't
world would be a better
participate.
place.
Please don't participate.
Hillary, any advice? Last thoughts?
I personally am covered in Christ's blood, so I'm
Just
tattoo tomorrow and go bowling.
she's just dumping wine on herself in the bathtub. I'm safe.
I'm good.
Good.
In the blood, in the blood. Washed in the blood of the
Christ blood
Lamb.
in you.
I definitely forgot to go get some beverages before I joined this call. So
Damn it! You could
Do
leave.
you regret
So
that?
Crystal.
I know that's.
it would have been so much more fun if Crystal was a little saucy.
I'm on my
Sam.
second bubbly tall boy.
Yeah.
I'll have you know.
Yo, Crystal. Anytime you want to come back, we'll do it.
Thank you.
For real. Thank you guys for doing this. Let's go around. If you guys will just tell your Instagram handle or the podcast you do, or however people could find you, what you would like them to know about you. You know, if you need to be on a dating app, whatever you need to share, this is your moment. Baker, go. Voice
I am at Baker Comedy on Instagram. And also at Poor Variety on Instagram.
Why?
That is because that's my podcast's Twitter. And wait, Instagram. I'm not good at social media. Which is I think that's a good quality, to be bad at social media. But yeah, my podcast, The Poor Variety Show, you can find it on Spotify, wherever you get podcasts. It's on all that. We haven't done one in a while because but you know, because we all live like far enough apart to where we're not gonna we're not going to each other's houses. It's not gonna happen.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're not doing that. So yeah, maybe that'll be up and running again soon, but it'll be months.
I guest starred on an episode for about 5 seconds, so you can look out.
Oh yeah, you were on one of the real early ones. I was interviewing young women in Georgia about the heartbeat bill, which whatever happened with that? I don't know. 24-hour news cycle. Who knows?
Insane.
Died. Didn't it? It didn't go through.
It didn't?
I don't think so.
That's good. I'll have to do an update.
I don't know. I feel like I should be more enraged if it did.
It didn't go through, but now the United States federal government is trying to make abortions a thing that can't happen while the coronavirus exists in the world.
What?
Georgia's on board with it. So yeah,
Cool.
more sex ed fun news. Here we are.
Back. Emily, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at my health teacher place, which is Miss MS Owens Health Class.
OWENS.
Correct. And it's all one word, no spaces, no periods, just MS Owens Health Class.
Do people ever think you're like a multiple sclerosis health class thing?
I hope so, because we can talk about that too. All
Good.
things, all health. Great.
I'm actually currently in training.
And then
to be a
whenever you
community
see the
health worker.
masturbation stuff, you're gonna be like, what?
Was it Instagram? Is that MS? What did you say now?
ms.owens. What
I feel
is
like
it?
I should have written that down and like held it up.
And
I'll type it.
masturbations.
I'll type them. I'm a dickhead. I should have been typing all of these into the comments.
MS.Owens.
No dot, just
Health class.
MS
Oh my
Owens Health Class.
And that's on Instagram, right?
I got 3
Correct.
things. I can remember this.
Baker.comedy.
At Baker Comedy.
Why am I adding dots to everything? And also,
Oh, and
Dots on my shit.
you just liked my video. Look at you. Thank you, Crystal.
is it called The Poor Variety Show?
At Poor Variety.
At
And yes,
Poor
it is called The Poor Variety Show.
All
It's
right,
the
we
only
got
thing that
those
will come
down.
up when you type that in.
Hills Bills, what you got for us? How can we find you and love you because you're fly as fuck?
You can find me on all of the social media channels at Hillary R. Heath, and it's HILLARYRHEATH. So Hillary, like our president should be, middle initial R, and then like the candy bar. That's my name. You can find me there. You can also give my sketch group that I produce a follow as well.
Do that.
They are at blackaf_comedy. It's an all black sketch group. I don't write or perform. I just produce. It's an incredible group. We've done a couple of different live shows in Atlanta. Netflix recently stole our name. It's been real fun.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's been
Cool.
good. But yeah, follow us. We're going to have more sketch shows coming up. We were supposed to have one coming up in June, and we'll see if it happens or not. But you can follow us there for more info.
and beautiful Crystal, is it at KRYS Laughs?
Yep, at Chris Laughs. That is my Instagram, and that is the Twitter that I also don't use as often. Occasionally, I have manic episodes where I just tweet a bunch of nonsense, and that is when I get the most likes. But yeah, at Chris Laughs on all the socials.
Cool. Well, y'all check us all out. We're cool guys. Any last words, any aspirations, any wisdom y'all want to leave off on? Thank you guys again for coming on.
Wash your hands.
Yes.
Wash your hands, man.
Wash your sex toys. Wash your foreskin.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. Be
Wash-
safe.
Wash it
Stay,
all.
stay
Don't trust
home.
anybody.
Stay inside. Ravenclaw. I'm out.
Gryffindor.
Oh,
Wow.
Slytherin all the way.
What the fuck? All right. Well, Hillary, who are you?
Lord of the Rings.
What are you, Hillary?
I'm a Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
Oh, nice.
Baker, what are you?
He's a Lord of the Rings.
I'm a hobbit.
Fucking Hobbit.
Okay.
5'6", baby. Hairy ass feet.
Wow. I want to say I'm a Gryffindor, but I think I'm actually a Ravenclaw. It's bullshit.
I want to be a Ravenclaw, but I think I might be a Slytherin.
Yeah, you're totally.
The difference is who do you leave behind?
Um,
Ravenclaws will leave anybody behind. Slytherins will not. But Slytherins will do things worse.
What you mean?
but I'm so
Ravenclaws will
nice.
leave
Maybe I'm a
everybody
Hufflepuff.
behind.
Look it up. Look it up.
Oh, Hufflepuff. All right, we'll come back for more. We'll come back for a Harry Potter Lord of the Rings showdown. Y'all motherfuckers, thank you so much for coming on. Y'all are amazing. You're doing amazing things. You deserve to be celebrated, and I celebrate each of you because you're awesome. I love you so much.
I love you.
Hearts
You're
and
amazing.
We love you.
You.
I
One of my
miss
favorite people on this
Kyra,
planet.
thank you,
I miss
thank you,
you guys.
thank you.
Thank
I
you
miss
guys.
I miss that day we had in Augusta. That was
So
the
dope.
best time.
Have it again, and I'm coming to Atlanta, and I really want to hang out with you guys, and I'll learn the difference between potato and wherever else. All right.
All right.
Peace. Wash your
All right.
hands. Be safe. Love you all. We are
Wash your hands.
out.
Bye.
Ending meeting.